uniform. The action is next. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Key Arena in Seattle, Washington, where tonight the winningest team in the NBA, the Seattle Supersonics, now at 30-8, take on a tough, young, spirited Cleveland Cavalier basketball team. Their intentions are revenge. Along with Marcus Johnson, I'm Kevin Calabro. We'll talk about the Cavs here in just a second, but about the Supersonics. What a bounce-back game they had the other night against Miami after people thought maybe that record was an aberration, losing to New York and Chicago on the road. They bounced back and just annihilate the Heat.
I mean, it's just funny how quickly people want to jump off the bandwagon. The Sonics lose a couple. It's all done. They're over with. They're going to lose to Miami. Just a great job by Seattle to refocus and get back on the good foot.
Yeah, they've had so many emotionally power-packed games here recently, and this one falls into that category because of the presence of this man, Shawn Kemp.
Well, the Rain Man is back. Maybe you want to call him the Snowman. I don't know. Whatever you call him, you better respect him because he's coming back tonight to prove a point. Ben Baker did a great job. 15 first-quarter points in Cleveland. Sonics triple-team Shawn Kemp, double-teamed him, frustrated him into numerous turnovers. He didn't score his first free throw until late in the first quarter. Didn't score his first bucket until late in the second quarter. There it is right there. Shawn Kemp, though, had a 19-point, 11-rebound game the other night. I think he is back on the right track. I think he'll pull himself away from the basket and look to do things on the perimeter.
Well, he's slowly come around since the 9-point outing against the Sonics. His average 16. The shooting is still off 36%. Rebounding better at 8 a clip. But the turnovers have hurt him over the last 4 games leading into this matchup against his ex-teammates, the Supersonics. But that's not the only presence that the Cavaliers put on the floor. They have some sensational perimeter shooters.
And some sensational rookies. They've got 4 guys who will appear in the Sixth rookie game back in New York City during All-Star Weekend. Revan Knight spearheads the attack out of Stanford. Sonics Gary Payton, double-teaming defense, did a great job in neutralizing Knight. Whenever you have a lot of young players playing against the Sonics, look for some aggressive defense. That's going to lead to easy transition opportunities at the other end. The guy that scares me, though, tonight is Derek Anderson. He was 1 for 7 in Cleveland. I think he's a much better player than that. He had 20 points the other night in their victory against Phoenix.
When I say perimeter shooters, I'm talking about Wes Person, who leads the NBA in threes made and in threes attempted against the Sonics. So in the last outing, 32 points in the first half of the Cavs. They were out of it by the time we got to halftime. Well, Gary Payton's defense outside, as Marcus mentioned, on 5'10" Revan Knight, certainly was a key to locking up Shawn Kemp, because if you can't get an entry pass, you can't score.
Yeah, Gary at 6'4", defending 5'10", Revan Knight. This was all over, and that's why they called him the glove. But he also sets the tempo for the Sonics on offense. He is a Sonic tonic, if you wish. Gary Payton doing it from the outside, doing it inside. He is the energizer of this team. These guys that come out in attack mode right from the beginning. If Gary starts off attacking, the Sonics usually win the basketball game.
Last meeting, Gary Payton with 25 points. So did Ben Baker. He had the 25-15 in the first quarter of play, and neither one played big minutes in that game. The Supersonics today activated Jerome Kersey in his 14th year in the NBA. He was known as the Wild Man in Los Angeles last year. Del Harris said the reason why, because without him, we wouldn't have beaten Portland in the first round of the playoffs.
Yeah, this year he's the sushi man up in here in Seattle, but Jerome is a welcome addition to an already strong Sonic basketball team. It just enhances their bench, makes it even deeper and stronger. He's a guy George Karl loves it, leaving the game during crunch time because of his defense and rebounding. Welcome back, Jerome.
And welcome back, Shawn Kemp. We'll get a sense of the crowd's welcome for Shawn in a moment as we continue on the Sonics Broadcasting Network.
I expect it to be a little mixture of noises out there, maybe a couple cheers, a few boos, and maybe some listeners out there just kind of looking around and seeing what's going on. But I think, for the most part, I think it'll probably be some cheers. I think, well, you know, stuff I did in the community, stuff I did around the state of Washington and different things. I just think that the people back there will be respectful enough to remember those things and probably push other things aside and just concentrate on that and probably have a warm reception. That's what I expect.
Shawn Kemp commenting to us earlier about what he perceives to be the feeling in Seattle for him. As he mentioned, a smattering of boos, some whistles, some cheers, and we shall see. When the Cavaliers came on just before our broadcast, the crowd was kind of mixed in its reception for Shawn Kemp. Sure, right now he's focused on the job at hand, and that is trying to regroup and beat the Seattle Supersonics. And here is Shawn Kemp on the reception in Seattle. A lot of people on their feet applauding Shawn Kemp, I got to tell you. There's one of them.
Got a couple of signs up there. Welcome home, Shawn. We love you. Thanks for the dunks, Shawn Kemp. And also some other ones. Great trade, Sonics. It's a balance.
It's a balance when you're 30-8. Things are rolling your way. The Cavaliers starting lineup: Brevin Knight out of Stanford. He's a rookie. Wesley Person, traded in the offseason from down south. Zydrunas Ilgauskas has averaged 20 points, 15 rebounds over the last 3 games. Cedric Henderson, the rookie from Memphis. And Shawn Kemp from Concord High School in Elkhart, Indiana. It'll be Gary Payton and Hersey Hawkins at the guard. Jim McElvain in the middle. Detlef Schrempf and Vin Baker, the all-star forwards for the Supersonics. We'll come back with a tip in a moment on the Sonics Broadcasting Network. Back in Seattle, along with Marcus Johnson, Kevin Calabro at Key Arena in Seattle. And it's now time for this evening's marquee matchup, brought to you by US West. Life's better here.
And let's see here. Danny Ferry against Eric Snow. No, it's Shawn Kemp, Vin Baker. Now, I wouldn't be surprised if Cleveland double-teamed Vin Baker, much like the Sonics did to Shawn Kemp, just to keep Vin quiet. Vin erupted for 15 big-time first-quarter points, and Shawn Kemp, you look for him to just be emotionally just on the verge of being out of control. It's going to be tough for him to harness those emotions and to have a great game, but, you know, with the Rain Man, anything is possible.
15 points early for Vin Baker in that first quarter of play. Shawn Kemp didn't score his first point of the game until he had a free throw with about a minute left in the first quarter of play. By that time, the damage had been done. The Supersonics had subdued the Cleveland Cavaliers. It was a sensational defensive juggernaut the Sonics threw at the Cavaliers. But I think the question begs now here tonight, will Cleveland go to the man who's been the hottest Cavalier of late, Zydrunas Ilgauskas, who's been playing professional basketball since he's 12. The long Lithuanian is 7'3", and as we mentioned, averaging 19 points, nearly 65% from the field, and 13 rebounds a game over the last 3 contests. You go to him earlier, if you're Mike Fratello, does he just kind of get it in the flow?
Well, no, I think you're right. I think you try and establish him early. He had 23 and 15 or 16 rebounds against Phoenix a couple of days ago. I think you take some pressure off of Shawn Kemp by not making him the focal point right off the bat of your offense. Let Shawn kind of get his in the flow, get a rhythm going. I really believe that you don't want to put all the attention, the magnifying glass, the spotlight right on Shawn Kemp early.
Cavaliers have won 9 of the last 12, 11 of their last 15 road games, including a franchise high, tying 7 straight from November 21st to December 17th to go 10-6, 6-3 against the Eastern Conference foes. They are 2-1 on this current West Coast road trip. It'll be Baker and Ilgauskas in the middle.